All right. How you doing, buddy?
All right, bud. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm glad to see you. Glad you came out. You got Andy Liker here talking about an interesting topic that I, until a couple weeks ago, did not know that much about. I mean, I've seen bikers all the time, but you had said something about that kind of blew my hair back a little bit, was the prejudice. Like that you could go to I think we were heading up to get some lunch at the Midtown Pub, and you asked me, do they let bikers in there?
Right,
like,
right.
What do you mean? How would they know? Like, because you pulled up on a bike, or like, like that kind of thing. So,
yeah, but I mean, like, as far as, years ago when Fat Sam's was there in Orland, on 45 and 159th,
right.
If you went in there with a printed Harley Davidson T-shirt on, you couldn't go in.
So just not a club, just Harley Davidson.
Just a Harley Davidson T-shirt. There's there's a bar in Lockport called Rocco's, and that guy, new owner bought it, and the first thing he did was rip the "No Bikers Allowed" sign off the outside.
I would think as a business, the bikers got to be good. That's part of the lifestyle, right? Is to be out riding and drinking.
Oh yeah, so, and we spend money.
Oh right.
Anywhere you go where there's bikers at, them bartenders are happy.
Right. So that's how we got the subject as far as something to talk about, because I'm just doing a podcast where I talk to people that got interesting information about things that I don't know that much about, figuring that other people outside that life don't know that much about it either.
Right.
So, but let's do a little history on you. I mean, your dad, are you like third generation, second generation biker? We'll have to get into like what exactly is a biker, right? Because I mean, define that. Because I mean, I have a definition for a guy that fishes and then a fisherman. There's two different things. I can buy hiking boots and I'm a hiker,
right?
But because I buy work boots, don't mean I'm a worker.
Well, I guess $20,000 a tattoo and a T-shirt doesn't make you a biker,
right?
You know what I mean?
Okay, so what does?
I guess there's a lot of camaraderie that goes along with it, but I mean, if you're putting 1,000 miles on a year, you're not a biker.
Oh, so mileage has got something.
Well, I mean, it's just like bragging rights.
Okay.
Our buddy Kevin Burke. You know what I mean? He's a member of the Iron Butt Club. He did over 1,000 miles in one day.
Woo!
So and
one day.
One day. That's riding from here to Sturgis in one day. So, but
how uncomfortable is that?
It just, I don't know, man. I guess you just got to figure out what's more comfortable. Like they sell lambskin things that go over your seat.
Sure.
And that makes a big difference.
Right.
And, but I mean, mileage, I guess, who you hang out with, what you do, if you just ride from tavern to tavern in town, on your bike, I mean, my goal every weekend when we get the chance to go out, I like to put at least 200-300 miles on in a weekend. You know what I mean?
Wow. I didn't really. So, I've seen guys that I was, I went up to Gallagher's Pub in Manhattan one time, and there's a guy that I know that's totally white collar guy. I've never seen him outside of a shirt, with a little alligator on him, and he's full out leather. I don't know about leather chaps, but leather pants, the little hat, the whole. I'm like, man, cute outfit. What do you got going on there?
Yeah, right.
How when I looked at him, and he's like, oh yeah, well, I bought the bike, a year ago, and the wife bought the leather halter top, and here we go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now he's a biker. Like, I don't think it works like that.
No, it doesn't. I mean, you got to pay your dues, I guess.
Right,
I mean,
right.
There's definitely a dress code etiquette. I don't know about the leather pants. I would have to laugh at somebody like that. But, I mean, you can't be riding in sandals or flip-flops.
I thought the leather pants were, safe, because that's pretty tough, right? If you wipe out with leather pants on, you're good to go,
yeah,
right?
Well, your denim jeans are just as good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I don't know shit about anything, man. Bike thing's never been, I remember when the crotch rocket thing was all the deal when we were younger, and there were girls getting on the back of them and stuff like that, and maybe tilted my head at it a couple times and then said, no, I'm not buying a bike. That's not my... Right. I'm not going to fake being that, because that's not me. So,
right. Well, I mean, I grew up on motorcycles. I think I was, 6.5, 7 years old, and my dad came home with a Kawasaki KZ75.
Right. So now your dad's a biker all the time?
My dad rode. He's had Nortons, BSAs, which is British Small Arms Company.
Okay.
And they were involved in all kinds of stuff. I can get to that later. But he had Triumphs, and then the year after he bought me that Kawasaki, he bought a 1979 Harley Davidson Sportster, root beer brown, which I still have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, after he passed, I got that.
Wow. What year?
1979.
1979 bike. So that's pretty cool. So is that considered an antique now, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. After
same
25
thing with cars.
years.
You
Yeah.
get plates. Okay.
Yeah. I can, but I rode it the year after my dad died, and then I put it away, and I haven't touched it since.
Yeah. Right.
You
So Grandpa, is he a biker too?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I'm the third generation of the family in this country.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So.
Right. So
Yeah.
Grandpa's just an immigrant, and then
Yeah.
Dad, okay, all right. Because I mean, like I like some old flicks and stuff. You ever see I think it's the Wild Bunch with
Marlon
Brando?
Yeah, that's the wild one. I
love that, man. The way he's talking in there and everything.
Right. Well, I don't know if you know, but that was actually what they used to do. That movie was quasi inspired by. There was called the Gypsy Tour.
Okay.
And what these things were, they were AMA sanctioned, which is the American Motorcyclist Association.
Sure.
And they used to go around the country and do all this. They'd have hill climbs and barrel races with motorcycles, and it was a big social event, and they started this stuff in like 1925. Okay?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So then they would go around the country, and this is like the precursor to like all your rallies now. Because the AMA still goes, like what's going on right now, Daytona Bike Week,
Yeah.
or Sturgis, or Laconia, or the Four Corners rally and stuff like that. But in 1947 in Hollister, California, at the Gypsy Tour, all these bikers went out into town and they were kind of causing a ruckus.
Sure.
So that's where the wild ones comes from.
The nonconformity of it back then had to be like, holy cow, you guys look different than, bikers have been portrayed in movies. I mean, the other biker scene that I always remember is the one from, A Bronx Tale.
Oh, yeah.
Now you just can't leave.
Yeah, where the mob gets in there.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
I can believe that.
Right. So, I mean, there's definitely been some bad. And then there's the historic stories with the Hells Angels and the Rolling Stones.
Yes.
With the whole guy getting killed and everything else. And they're pretty much being on. Back then, something being on video was, not normal, where now everyone's walking around with a camera in their hand.
Right.
But, so, yeah, probably a bad rap as far as that goes. But, some of it's probably actually deserved, too, right? There's some bad individuals that's the lifestyle of choice.
Oh, yes. Right. But, like all the club guys that I know, they all got jobs. You know what I mean? They all got families. It's just that's the lifestyle that they choose.
Yeah, right. No, that's great. Right. And I mean, some lifestyles of choice. I mean, I know guys that are professional fishermen that is not a conducive lifestyle to having a family and a wife, because when I say professional fisherman, this guy's mostly guiding and stuff like that. So every day you're out on the water doing what you like to do.
Right.
It's a great job as far as the job goes. And then your clients want to go out and have beers and dinner with you and stuff like that. So what time do you have left for family? None. So
right.
It's over.
Right.
But the biker thing's got to be tough. Oh, the other biker movie that was always really good was that Mask with Sam Elliott and stuff like that. Like, that was a cool, but there was still like the dirty side of it in there too, the drugs and all the other stuff.
Right. Well, I guess I don't know how I want to go about saying this. The late '60s and early '70s, that was where your LSD, your methamphetamine, and your heroin all came into play.
Now, right. So were those guys? LSD is made just by chemicals here,
right?
But some of the other stuff was that transported by these guys that were driving around, or
so all the history books say, you know what I mean,
right?
And in the early days, once they started doing, that's how they were making money, because like a lot of these clubs, they all stem from veterans that come back from World War II,
right?
And they were missing the camaraderie and all that, so this was their common bond.
Nice.
So that's the early days. Now the '60s, hey, we got a way to make money. so we don't have to work. You know, and then you get your prostitution rings in there and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You know, so.
Well, right, that's all seedy and ends up taking advantage of people that are in bad situations. But
Right.
the lifestyle, like down to the bare bones of it, I think it's you got the right idea for sure. Like the bike thing's never been my thing.
Right.
And I'm a guy that fish, hunt, all that kind of stuff as much as I could. Love to snowboard and all that. First guy on the hill. Well, we skied together and stuff that. But there's too many people out there that live their life to go to some job, and then they don't have anything besides that. Where if you're, like what's the bike brand that's Live to Ride or whatever like that? But
the Harley.
Harley, right. So I mean, that's a better philosophy on life than I work all the time so I can come home and watch my TV set and if all you're doing is I go to that place over there to get my paycheck so I can buy 4 or 5 bikes and then do the things I enjoy to do. I don't know. You're mentally probably more stable than somebody who's just drudging through.
Right. Sometimes on a bad day, after a bad day at work, I'll come home, get cleaned up, and just go out for 40, 50-mile ride all by myself.
Yeah, what do you guys call that? Some kind of therapy? What's it?
Wind therapy.
Or
two-wheel therapy, depending on who you're talking to.
No, I love that, man. I tell you what, I bought my first boat. I was 19 years old, and just having the boat hitched up and ready to go for me was always just, oh man, I'm so excited. My heart and soul is up in northern Wisconsin, northern Minnesota, Canada. I just get up there and see that stuff, and I'm like, oh man, like everything melts away from me. I venture to guess it's the same when you hit the road on the bike and
get out.
Forget about all that other crap.
Yeah, just get out on some two-lane road and fucking go. Right.
I don't even think about Trump when I'm out there. It's nice. But me and Andy have very, very different political views on things. When we micro talk about it, we agree on a lot of things, but political party wise, political, the attack we take on it. But I think we have some of the most interesting conversations because we don't agree. If we just agreed, oh my God, that would be.
We're sitting in an echo chamber,
and
that ain't no
so
big deal.
Boring. Yeah, man.
Definitely.
Those are my least favorite Facebook threads, or when the guy, you say something and the 15 people are like, right on, brother.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, fuck, jeez. So brave of you to come.
Yeah, just give it a like and move on.
Right. So, exactly. So, and that's part of the reason for the podcast was I have great conversations with you. I have we'll have conversations that we get on the phone, just something in the news. There was a shooting today with the mosque in New Zealand.
Yes.
But that would usually spur like a phone call, and boom, start talking, and then, oh shit, it's 3.5 hours have gone by. I feel like a teenage girl on the phone. Like I don't talk on the phone that long.
Right.
But it's good. It's mentally stimulating. All that stuff's really good. Another buddy of mine, Tony, would go up to the pub in town here and just bullshit, and his political views are not my political views, but have a good time talking. And still, I've never walked away from one of those situations. We're in person in those conversations.
Right.
And I've never been like, oh, I'm not doing that again. I'm like, look forward to next time, man. A couple weeks would be great.
Right.
So, I figured I could put people as a fly on the wall for these conversations and maybe get some feedback from them and see what they think.
Right. Time for it.
So anyways, the biker thing's super interesting. Like I said, like you said, you brought some stories and some history of the biker lifestyle, and so the lifestyle. Have you done any big? You said the guy Burke went all the way from here to Sturgis in one day.
Right.
Oh man, that's a marathon runner.
I've ridden a Sturgis, but I didn't do it in one day.
Now, did you do it like? Like the old biker, like pack a frickin' sack and just.
I look like Jed Clampett going down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey man, if you're gonna do it, like, don't be the guy with the, the guys that always kill me were the guy with the I know the full dresser bike is like a thing that people like.
Right.
But he's got the thing with the 6 suitcases on there, and he's got the big helmet on with the microphone, and he's talking to the other. I'm like, just buy a car, man.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, there's a saying, Daytona's called Bike Week, right?
Okay.
And Sturgis is the rally, the
I don't know anything
Black Hills Rally. Okay. But anyway, out in Sturgis, she's, riding, going down 90, It's a long, long haul. Because like we rode from here to Sioux Falls, and that was like the perfect stopping point. It was, not quite halfway, but in Sioux Falls there's bars, hotels, restaurants, all that stuff, and long day of riding. Screw it, let's stop. We'll start out fresh tomorrow.
Right.
But so and then you get up in the morning, get some breakfast, and hit the road. And when that sign says last gas exit for 53 miles, if you can't go 53 miles, you better go.
Know what you're doing.
The one guy we went with, he ran out of gas 3 times. We were on the side of the road with a water bottle, draining gas out of everybody's tank.
Yeah, just to get him there.
Just to get him enough.
Right.
Right. So, but
one of my favorite biker scenes is the Dumb and Dumber when they got the little mini bike.
Yeah, it gets 70 miles to the gallon on this hog.
Just let it go, man.
Yeah,
let it go. But what you call it? No, that stuff's always pretty cool to me. That somebody could, even camping and like if you were like somebody that was going to go from, Ohio or Chicago or something like that, all the way out to Southern California, like through Grand Canyon, all that other stuff, and you just brought. You can easily pack a tent and all that other stuff on your bike.
Oh yeah.
And then you're living on the cheap. You can go to some campgrounds are $5 for the night, and you're in there and you're good to go. You get a shower, everything out of that deal.
Yep.
I love the whole idea of not owning so much crap and all that other stuff, or even traveling that way. You obviously you can't do that with a family or anything, but and I've seen the bikes with the sidecar and the guy's got the trailer behind. And sometimes I'm like, man, that seems like a whole lot to do to And then the other one is seeing the guy that's sitting under the underpass, big time rain, right?
Oh, done that before.
Oh, I can't imagine how you didn't, right?
I
mean, how many times did Burke do that on the one trip? Like 1,000 miles, you had to run through some storms.
I would think so, but I don't know. He might have got lucky.
Yeah, right.
He might have got lucky.
So got to be hell on your. Like you get windburn real bad. I mean, that's got to be pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, depending, you know what I mean. You put some sunscreen on or whatever, and I mean, on a long trip like that, I'll put earplugs in, to keep because. You know what I mean?
Right.
8 hours of the wind just constantly going by your ears.
So you're not listening to music or anything like that?
Well, yeah, I'm listening to music, but,
okay.
Just the wind going by your ears. And believe it or not, with the earplugs in, you can hear the music better.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because it drowns out the wind noise. And I don't know, maybe if it's, if you know the song and you can feel it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
It might be something psychological like that,
I guess.
Guess.
So now is there a certain bike that you would rather take on a long run than a bike that they're more comfortable, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. Like I rode my 95 Springer Softail. It's the one with the the chrome legs, and it's got the springs and the shock up front. Right. I rode that one out to Sturgis, and that that you're constantly moving around and trying to get resituated and stuff. But I have a 96 FLH, which is but it's slammed to the ground because of my little legs. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's lowered a few inches.
Sure.
So, but
that. Now, you ever do the deal with the whole, got my hands weighed like monkey bars or whatever they're,
Yeah, I've got them ape hangers, they call them.
Ape hangers, right.
I've got them. I have a 74 Super Glide, which is a shovel head motor.
That doesn't look comfortable.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be either.
No.
And I mean, I bought it with them handlebars on there. And I rode it, and I fell in love with it.
Oh, really? Yeah. So it's fine just to hang out like that, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
That
Air out the pits the whole way.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's smelly at least. But so that's cool. That would be, I think that would be a qualifier for your biker. If you took the ride out to Sturgis and everything else, then man, at least for the year,
right,
you probably covered your miles, right, to book all the way out there.
Yeah, it's 1,000 there, 1,000 back, and you generally put 1,000 on while you're out there.
Right.
Because I mean, if you stay in Sturgis, in town Sturgis, which I wouldn't recommend to anybody anymore, because it's just so crowded.
Something like that. Do a lot of guys you got the big Suburban? Do they just trailer all the bikes and then ride them all out there, or what?
Yeah, a lot of people do. That's why like I say, I rode my bike to trailer week. You know
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, trailering your stuff down to Florida, in this kind of weather. Now I do know a few people who have ridden down there and ridden back.
So that's a tough one too.
That's a tough call.
You're a union laborer.
Yeah.
So like the time of year that you're off is not exactly bike time.
Exactly,
I mean,
which sucks.
unions don't exist so much down where that would work out, and you wouldn't get laid off in the wintertime anyway.
Right.
But, like I said, I like that whole idea of having a lifestyle where you're, working to get the paycheck so you can go live the life you want to live, not, people, like I said, there's people who are working 60, 70 hours a week and they
don't do nothing.
Don't look up from that at all. And then, by the time they look up, they're 67 years old and, they think that place they worked at cares about them, and they don't.
They don't.
No. So,
Right.
What you call live it while you got it. I mean, you don't know how long it's going to be.
Right.
But, so yeah, that's one of those things that I always looked at the guys with the bikes, and I looked at them fondly, to be honest with you. If I had my boat trailered and I'm headed to the lake and the 150 guys on the bikes all blaze past me on the highway, or I
Right.
go past them, whatever, all I said to myself was, at least you're not going to be on the lake. You're doing what
Right.
you're doing, I'm doing what I'm doing.
Exactly.
If all of you thought like I did, this would suck, because you're not
Yeah,
going to
right.
deal with you on the
you
water.
got competition.
Right. So, hey, man, more power to you. Knock your socks off. Not anything that I could wrap my brain around that I wanted to do. And it was the same thing as the jet skier. You know what I mean? I used
Right.
to look at those dudes and be like, you just bought that piece of machinery to beat the piss out of it. Just, and then, so bored, you got to come near me to look at me
Yeah.
to see if you think you look cool. All I'm doing is look at you to see if I can get this big hunk of wood I'm chucking and hit you in the head with the damn thing. But but like I said, more power to you. Everyone's got different strokes, different folks. And I'd like to hear about it because, like you said, the prejudice thing, and then just a person like myself looking at it from the outside, like it would never be a thing that I would, think about
Right.
doing. But I'm sure there's a lot of people that, in my advice is in anything, if you think that would be something that you'd really enjoy, how's the camaraderie's got to be good.
Oh,
Is it accepting? So say some guy who's he works a white collar job, or he's whatever. If he goes and really gets he digs down deep, he's into the bikes, he knows about the bikes and everything else.
Right.
And he starts going on the poker runs and stuff like that. Is he going to be immediately accepted, or is he side-eyed?
Well, like I said, you got to pay your dues a little bit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
I
hear
mean,
about that.
You come around and you start making friends. I mean, you're not just, kind of like high school. You got your groups, and here comes this guy. He just moved in. You're going to be like, who's the new guy? What's his deal? Blah blah blah. It's
Right.
kind of the same.
Yeah,
same
get
thing.
a fight with him and then like the guy after.
Right, exactly, yeah. But no, it just, there's, you got some bars, any bar could potentially be a biker bar, so to speak.
Okay.
And depending. But like, this group goes over here, and this group goes over here, and they can meet in the middle somewhere. But
Okay.
you don't go to these guys' place, and they don't come to your place.
Right. So now,
Just-
is that the reason that some places? I'm gonna I'll edit this out, but
Yeah,
that's that in a second here. Just see if you can get around there.
What'd I do?
Just
Did I
you'll
break
get it. You'll get it. And like I said, I can just edit this. It's not a problem. Both things. Yeah. Just shit.
How did
I don't know, to be honest with you. Give it a like one time around, twist it one time. Maybe it's like screwed in there. Yeah, did that make it any better? No, go like the whole thing, like go like this around. Yeah. Just set it on if you have to.
Is that gonna
It's
make?
just no, it won't do anything.
Is that gonna make a difference there?
No, you're good. You're good.
Wow,
So-
I don't know what the fuck. I caught it. I guess.
Right.
I'm sorry.
So well, I'll just come back in like right here, but explain the club thing. So like, is that the reason? So you got all these clubs. I see guys that got the vest and they got the different colors on and stuff like that. Is that the reason that some places don't allow bikers in there? They just make a blanket statement, say no bikers, because one time this club and that club came in here and then they got into it.
Exactly.
And that makes no sense at all because, me and Danny, that's all we used to do every single weekend was go somewhere. No girls by 10:30. Let's look for someone to fight. You know what I mean? Sort of thing.
Right.
We were not in a biker club. We're looking for some entertainment as far as that goes. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's no more danger in that than anything else. Or is there? If you're with a biker club and you see another club, are you required to give them some shit?
See that? I don't know. I'm not in a 1%er club.
What's that?
back to the whole AMA thing and that Hollister incident. After all that, with the wild ones and then bikers going out in town, the AMA put out, hey, 99% of the people that come to our events are family oriented, this and that and the other thing.
Okay.
Those guys causing the problems, they're the 1%.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you'll see, like, the Outlaws or the Hells Angels, Vagos, Banditos, all these other clubs.
Sure. What was the one that Jesse Ventura was involved in? One of them. It was like a Mexican club or something like that. It was founded by Mexicans.
Well, I know the Banditos. They're from down in Texas.
Okay, all right.
So
maybe it was something like that.
But I don't know. I don't ever remember hearing that.
Yeah. He had like when he ran for governor, there was some things that came up about that he was in a 1%er club where there. I don't know if they called it that then, but it was like a club that definitely had some prostitution issues and drug running and stuff like that, and they were trying to disqualify him from being governor because of his type
I'll have
status.
to look that up.
So right, but so 1%er club, and that's a what common term that guys use. That's a 1%er club.
Yeah. For them clubs, other there's different. Now, if you're like a support club, you got a 13 in there, 1-3. Like you're a 13%er. You support the 1%er club, which is more or less the dominant club in the area.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? And you can go down like the patches. You know what I mean? They got the top rocker, which says the club name.
Okay.
Then they got their emblem.
Yeah.
And then the bottom rocker says where they're from, like Joliet or Chicago.
Oh, so there's like different divisions or different chapters.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes. So and I made a list, if you wanted me to go through it. But, there's different, that's why I brought my vest down, because there's a one-piece patch, which means like you're family-oriented or you're a social club.
Okay.
Which is what the East Side Association is.
So social club meaning what? You're like single dudes or?
No, just like we hold like the hospice benefit or stuff like that. But we all ride together.
Okay.
But we're not in the 1%er realm.
Okay.
We're not in any. We can go wherever we want. We're not causing anybody problems. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Harley owner group. The Hog chapter.
Okay.
They used to be a 3-piece thing, and then all this stuff started back in the 80s, so they condensed theirs down to one.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? And same with your buddy Bob Mercer, his Ridgewood Cycle Association.
Right, so that's not a 1%er then.
No,
okay,
that's a social club also.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay, all right. I mean, some of it's big business. I mean, they got a treasurer and there's dues you're paying and everything.
Oh,
right?
yeah. There is a hierarchy. You got to have you've got to have that structure.
Right.
It's almost like a military type structure.
So what do you get? If you're paying dues? What do you get besides? They don't pay for your vest and stuff like that.
No,
So.
but I mean, generally you got the clubhouse. You know what I mean? Dues got to be paid. Somebody's got to keep the lights on, pay the taxes.
The clubhouse, that's a private bar or a private place you guys hang out, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So $2 beers, $3 shots. You know what I mean? And they have parties and all that kind of stuff. So, but like I said, somebody's got to keep the lights on, pay the taxes. Pay the bills. So that's what you get out of the dues.
So I mean, but it's not for profit, right? So like at the end of the year, the treasurer's like, we had X amount of dollars, and now we have X amount of dollars, and like there's a report they put out or something like that.
Well, I've never sat in on their meetings per se.
Okay.
But I mean I know like our club meetings, that's what we do.
Okay.
But you know what I mean? We put all our money towards our hospice benefit or stuff like that.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. No, I mean. It's really good that guys are out there doing, I've explained to you that's my idea of patriotism. If someone's doing something that helps out the people in the country, then that's patriotic. That's a big deal. And I mean, if you're someone who's maybe got a bad rap that you look like an outlaw or whatever like that, but you're helping out.
Right.
People love that shit, man. People loved Al Capone.
Oh,
he was like terrific, right? Because he just helped out this or that and everything else, and people were like, damn cops, leave him alone.
Right.
killing people, but still helping out.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's just cutting out his competition, so
Right.
he's making more money, but he was giving back to the city.
Yeah, right.
know?
Right. Well, there's plenty of probably people in the neighborhood he was helping out too, but
Right.
still, when you boil it all down, probably not a good guy.
Right.
But
Right.
if you were on his good side, you probably did all right. But you're on his bad side, you're in trouble.
Right. But I mean, all these the guys in the clubs that I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good with them, and so they treat me good. So I would never. I've never felt threatened or uncomfortable around any bunch of bikers. Me personally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And
why would you?
The bar I hang out at up in Joliet there. When my mom used to work at the courthouse, she'd meet me up there after she got off work for. She drinks her gin and tonic. She'd have one or two and go home. But people were, at the courthouse. Why do you go up there? And that's a biker bar. She says, you know what? I feel safer there than I do anywhere else. Who's going to mess with a 60-year-old lady in a biker bar? And if you do, guess what?
It's kind of like
about 12 guys going to kick your
pretty
ass.
tight knit community. Like everyone knows that's your mom.
Well, right.
Yeah, and I mean everyone. I've met through a lot of people that when we were rehabbing the house, you were there, Bob Wills was there, and Bob was there, and you all knew people that knew the same people.
Right.
As far as that goes. My dad worked with a guy named Arnie Johnson, and I think Arnie used to hang out at Just Judy's or whatever that up there. So, those guys, everybody seems to know everybody as far as it goes. It's your regular, socially, some people go to church.
Right.
Other people, this is, church.
That's our deal on Sunday. Meet at 10 o'clock, have a Bloody Mary, kickstands up by 11, and we're down the road.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So you can't wait for around here.
Oh, I know.
Not now, right? In a couple of, about 3 weeks or so, this is all once the weather.
Hopefully, yeah.
How do they plan that? Sometimes spring is early, sometimes it's late.
Yeah, but March came in pretty quiet this year, so.
Well, March came in, 3 degrees, so I'm expecting us to, in like a lamb, out like a lion, however that goes.
Yeah.
Or the other way, right?
Right.
In like a lion, out like a lamb. That's for social stuff. I'm not a church guy. That's not, my thing.
Right.
But if my mom is, and boy, for her socially, I don't think she could live without it. And I wouldn't begrudge her that in it ever,
Right. Whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, if it makes you happy, do it. Right. Absolutely. So what else? The clubs and stuff like that, the trips, all of it sounds pretty good and everything else. How many bikes do you own?
4.
4 bikes. Is it like having a gun? Is it a different tool for everything, or just whatever you feel like?
Yeah, it's a I predominantly ride my bagger, I call it, most of the time, because I'll either take that or my Springer Softail. I can go out on that, but my shovel head, that's strictly, there's no shocks or nothing on that.
So that's not long distance then.
No, that's bar to bar in town riding.
Sure. So when you guys see someone on a crotch rocket, it's giggles, right?
No, I don't know, man. I have no problem with them because they're enjoying the same sport that I do.
Yeah. Do you guys tend to grow out of that and go into?
Yeah, I did.
Oh yeah.
Right. My first motorcycle was a Suzuki Katana 600, but I had a GSXR 750 engine in it.
No, yeah, right.
And that thing was, the fastest I was on. Well, the speedometer said like 152 miles an hour.
Right.
And that was enough for me.
Yeah, that's pretty damn fast, man. You got to be feeling that the gyro on that pretty good, right? You can't tip that thing or
nothing. It's
crazy.
Just hold on.
Crazy. What you call it? So socially, it sounds good and everything else. What are some of the negatives? What's going on there that there's a lot of guys that are ex-cons and stuff like that gravitate towards that lifestyle?
I wouldn't say necessarily gravitate. I would say maybe came from.
Yeah, but they.
What I mean?
No one disallows them if you're in one of the social clubs and a guy's just got out from 12 years hard time. He comes back out. He's in the club still.
If he was in the club when he went in, yeah. from what I've seen.
Yeah, I didn't know how it worked. I mean, a lot of states you get thrown in jail and you come out, you can't vote.
Right. Well, I mean, I know a couple people, there was a big raid, I don't know, 14, 15 years ago, and the regional president went to, federal pen. But then he rolled over on some people that rolled over on him, and he got out after 7 years. So,
wow.
So now that's a big, he's not allowed to go to any bars in Joliet.
Right. Well, parole, I mean, how's that work too? If you're a guy that got thrown in jail for drugs or prostitution or something like that.
RICO Act.
Yeah, when you come out, though, you can't hang out with those same people anyway.
No.
They're all convicts too, so you can't be in the same place, right?
Right.
Okay. So, yeah, there's
got to be. As far as I know.
Yeah, but if you're going to join a social club, do they stop and say, well, what's your record?
No, not really, but that's where you got the probationary period. You know what I mean? You've got to hang around the club for a minimum of a year.
Got it. Okay.
And then then they'll patch you in, or is what they call it when you get your patch.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that if you're the president or something like that, you got a different patch on or something like that.
Well, no, you wear the
another patch or something.
It'll say president on there or something, or other clubs. Everybody just knows, hey, that's the prez over there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So what's some of the any regrets? Anything like if you could go back and change your life to be, most people wouldn't anyway in any situation, but if you could go back and change your life to be Ivy League, something else, would you change it? Would you do anything different? Would you have joined another club instead of the ones you have?
I would have picked a different career. I would have stuck it out and tried to get into 150. I mean, I love working construction.
Sure.
But the laboring's just, I'm pushing 50 years old. My body aches more than I ever thought it would.
No, right.
But that's from doing stupid shit when I was younger too.
Okay.
I mean, I've been in two motorcycle accidents myself. Of faults of my own, too much booze. You know what I mean? But I'm sure shit comes from that.
So how many clubs have you? How many different social clubs have you been with?
I was in a club called the Dickheads, which, I mean, they're still around, and I still talk to all them guys. And then,
what kind of numbers do the Dickheads have?
Oh Jesus, it's because with the name like the Dickheads.
Yeah, it's not one I'd want to join.
Well, no, I mean it. When I got in there back in '98, I think it was just like there was like 20, 30 guys, and we'd just have a party and a couple of bands.
Sure.
And then somebody was like, hey, brought, this guy and this guy and this guy, and then it just started flooding out. I mean, there's guys wearing dickhead shit around that I don't even know who the fuck they are.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Is there a, if you're a kid in the, bad side of town sort of deal, there's pressure from a gang for that kid to join the gang. I mean, it's just a social thing, right? It's not like if someone sees a dozen guys go by on the bikes, they all got the same vest on, should they be afraid?
No, absolutely not.
Right. I didn't think so. It didn't seem like something that ever was scary to me. In fact, like I had said to you before, and it was no offense or anything like that, but the guy that's got the tattooed up daggers and the dragons and all that other shit, he's the least scary guy in the world because he looks like he's putting all that stuff onto me,
right?
So that no one will try him. He's like, look how tough I am. Like, you ain't tough. Like, the guy who surprises you in a fist fight, you're like, oh man, start to roll around with him, and he's pretty fast and pretty strong.
Right.
Oh, I got trouble. It came out of nowhere, sort of thing. Where the other guy, like, I know what that is, and it's not, to me, that's not scary. But you see people. I'm sure that if you were there's people that lock the door.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, it's
just
supposed to be scary. You know what? Putting flowers and daisies on your.
It's a stereotype. It's like, hey, don't go around that side of town because those damn Scandinavians, they'll scalp you. You know what I mean?
Never heard that one before.
Right. I mean, it's just a stupid stereotype.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm in a grocery store. I'm not there to mess with somebody. But if somebody messes with me, then, you know, hey, game on. You know what I mean? Over something stupid. Like you see all these people on that, Black Friday going out Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
You know, you see all them idiots out there.
Right.
You know, and fucking Amazon.
Right.
You know what I mean? Forget all that shit.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right.
Who wants to put themselves in that situation?
Besides that, you're going to tackle someone over what, saving $25 on a TV? Like that's what you're going to do. Like that's who you want to be in the end of when
if you're that hard up for $25, you don't need to be spending that $750.
to buy the TV. Besides that, like I don't know, like you know, like you got to be beholden to some sort of code to who you are. How do you feel good the rest of the time watching that TV when you're like, I knocked that old lady right in her ass, got that TV? But anyways, so do guys age out? Like, is there a time where you're like, hey man, listen, Eddie, you're 75, man. I know you're still riding the bike, but we don't need you in the club anymore.
Well, no, that's up to the individual. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, you know, hey, I'm 60, I'm retiring from my job.
Yeah.
I'm moving to Tuck, Canada.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean?
Then I'm done.
I'm out.
Right.
All right, man. See ya.
And
nice knowing you for 35 years.
Right. There's no like, what is it? The Godfather stuff. They pull me back in. None of that. Like you can't get out. Right. You can always get out if you want to.
Yeah. You can get out.
Okay.
You can get out.
So it doesn't. I mean,
as long as they call it bad paper. You don't want to get out on bad paper. You know, like
explain that. What's that?
That would be something disrespecting the club to where they're going to pull your patch and stuff like that.
Now, would that affect you? Like, if you're like, all right, I'm going to go join another club, they'd be like, well, you got put out on bad paper on that one. You can't join ours.
Another club wouldn't accept you. I wouldn't think. You know, like if you just say you get kicked out of the Vagos and you want to go join the Mongols.
The Mongrels. That's the one. Oh, okay.
The Mongols.
Okay, there was a Mongrels club, I think, out west or something. That was the Ventura one.
Well, that would have to be the Mongols because they're
Mongols, maybe.
Yeah, they're big in California.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Southern California.
All right.
You know.
Okay. I just saw him on a podcast. And, he was
right.
Talking his thing, but what you call it? So I'm sure there's an appetite in that lifestyle where somebody who had drugs or prostitution or something like that probably could make a decent living because part of the lifestyle is having a party.
Right.
So you're bringing the party favors.
Well, somebody is.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's, from what I've seen, you know what I mean? It's not like it's like you hear of the old days. You know what I mean? Back in the 70s, you know. I mean, it's not like you walk into the clubhouse and there's cocaine just sitting on the counter, have at it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know,
what are some of the crazy things that have happened? I mean, what? So you've been around it for just like second generation biker. What's something that really blew your hair back? Like what has happened that you're like, holy shit? Ever reconsidered at that point? Like think, oh, maybe I picked the wrong club or wrong place to be.
Wow, I don't know, man.
I've definitely thought of, hey man, maybe I picked the wrong friends to hang out with tonight. Tonight was not a good night.
Well, geez, man, I don't know. Well, in Sturgis, I saw a knife fight between a couple guys, different clubs.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's just hatred.
Oh, I've seen a couple knife fights, and man, watching a knife fight is like, because it's it's not like you see in the movies where guys just like, there's a dude. Usually it starts with just a dude stabbing another dude, and then he's looking for something to stab him with. Like it's unbelievable watching someone get stabbed, and you're like, holy. Look at that! It's going down right now,
what
man.
In the fuck? I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, you don't know
that was right at the Broken Spoke Saloon, which is like
you don't know what he's gonna hit. It could kill that guy right now. I mean, we just as kids and everything else. I mean, saw our buddy Dave got gaffed at that one party, and I was like, whoa, man, ripped him, cheek to ear.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
definitely
not good. Definitely not good.
No. So I mean, when you see stuff like that, it's like, whoa, that's something more. I got stabbed. One guy put the keys in his hand and gave me a couple punches in the side, went right through the t-shirt and everything else. But that was just nothing. He wasn't going to win anyway, so he figured he'd try and hedge his bet.
Right.
But so just fights and stuff like that. I mean,
basically. I mean, nothing really out of the norm. somebody will pull out a gun or something. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I mean, everybody seems to me like they've everybody's trying to keep a low profile.
Sure.
Is what I've seen over the past 10, 15 years, I would say.
Sounds like a pretty laid back life that people maybe glamorize to a point where someone thinks it's not what it is, sort of thing. It sounds like a bunch of guys enjoy going out to the bar, enjoy riding the bikes,
right?
And all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's got to be a certain gearhead element to the thing too. I mean, Phil, my buddy, had a bike, and I think he had it for 3 months, and we spent all winter. We took the thing apart. We had the whole garage floor was covered in bike parts, and we put the thing back together again.
Right.
We got a tutorial on how to take a Harley apart and put it back together again, right then and there. Which, most things like that for guys that are mechanically inclined, you can figure it out.
Yeah. Well, normally, I mean, just with that, within everybody, you know what I mean? If you got 10 friends, chances are 2 or 3 of them going to be mechanically inclined.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, imagine if you've got 30 guys in a club. Probably 5 or 6.
Somebody's probably pretty.
Somebody knows
good
what's
at it.
up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody knows.
If you're a straight up bike mechanic, you probably own a bike.
I would hope so.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So. What you call it? Yeah. So I mean, it seems like a nice thing to do, fun if you're into that sort of thing. But it could be expensive too, right? I mean, what would you say you got wrapped up in bikes? And you're not a movie star. You're a union laborer guy, right? So what's
making
a guy like
$65,000 a year?
Yeah, right. What do you got wrapped up in bikes?
Oh shit. Let's see. What I paid. Let's see. 10, 20. About $45,000.
Yeah.
Really
nice car. Driving a Lexus, otherwise, right? I mean, that's $45,000.
No, my Beamer.
Yeah, your Beamer, right? And and then what would you say? Not counting beer and pizza, but what's it costing you a year to bike maintenance, gas?
Oh, geez.
Just what's the hobby cost? Because I'll tell you what, I fish for those muskies back there, and anyone that comes to me that's a bass fisherman that's like, hey, I want to get into muskies, man. I love them things. They get to be 4 feet long and everything else. I'm like, I look at him and go, don't do it, man. Don't do it. It's crack cocaine, man. Yeah. It's bad stuff.
Right. Well, I know. Me personally, the way I feel, if you don't walk out of the house, like you're going to go out on just say Saturday afternoon, Saturday night.
Yeah.
Me personally, if you don't walk out of the house with $150, $200, you ain't got no business going out.
Sure.
I mean, that's just my feeling. Because, hey, what happens, maybe get a flat tire or, you foul a plug or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, putting miles, I'm a real estate broker, do some general contracting, putting miles on vehicles. When I was full out contracting, all year long, I had 3 work trucks, a trailer, and then my personal truck and the wife's truck. Those things, man, I avoided putting miles on stuff because, every time I turn around when you own 4 or 5 vehicles, everything needs tires, needs brakes, needs $600 here, $400 there. Shit adds up, man.
Oh, yeah, big
if
time.
your hobby is how many miles can I put on?
Right.
How long do bike tires go?
Shit. I don't really know. Tell you that. I don't. I just, it would depend on what kind of compound you got, too. They make different compounds and stuff. But they've got, Metzler's got a really good touring tire that's rated for the weight and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, bike tires cost similar to car tires or more?
Back tire is going to cost you about $185. Front tire is about $150, $160.
Yeah, so a little more than a car tire. I mean, I think I've gotten
everything's double on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I think it was like $480 for all 4 tires on my van the last time, and it's like a heavy duty van. It's got the big tires on there and stuff. So yeah, that can get pricey.
I'll get
you
about
do some of your own stuff. You need brakes. You just throw new pads on them.
Yeah,
I mean that actually looks. We do pads on the vehicles we have, and that's car. You take the whole, thing out. The bike looks much easier than.
Oh, it's way simpler.
Yeah,
way simpler.
Right.
But I usually get probably, depending on how much I ride, about 4 to 5 years out of a set of tires.
Okay.
I mean, I've got I run Continentals on my Springer Softail, and I've only ridden that thing twice or 3 times in the past 3 years, though. It's
Right,
still
so,
got
I mean,
the little rubber nipples sitting on the sides of the tires.
Yeah,
you know
right,
what I mean?
right. Yeah. Well, you're only riding in the summertime and stuff like that. I mean, I know you're putting some miles on for
Right.
the hobby, but can I call it a hobby or just way of life? Because I mean, some stuff. My boys wrestling's that's not just a thing they do for
That's
3
a way of
months.
life.
Oh man, it's the whole thing.
Right.
They're 150 pull-ups a day right now, and the season is we're already counting down. It's 355 days until next state tournament. So that's the time they
Right.
got to work on it. But
Right. But
so-
no, I mean, I would just say it's a freedom-loving lifestyle, I guess. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
I mean, I miss it in the wintertime, but the light's always at the end of the tunnel.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can spend some of that time still hang out with the social guys and stuff
Oh yeah,
like that.
yeah.
and
We still all go out.
take the
and-
bike apart and make sure it's ready for. There's
Yeah.
got to be maintenance you're doing right before summer hits,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
that stuff's all. A couple beers and sit down. I mean, shit. I didn't realize that you didn't drink for Lent. I was planning on having beers for this conversation.
Yeah,
right
yeah.
here.
I know.
But-
I know. Sorry, man.
No. Hey, got to do what you got to do. I just I don't think I think this would be the first time I hung out with you who didn't have beers.
Probably, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what else you got? Anything else you wrote down that I mean?
Yeah.
I'm at a loss because I don't know shit about it, man. Like
All right.
that's not go. Yeah, whatever you got.
Hit pause.
Yeah.
Man, I feel so fucking bad about this thing.
Oh yeah. No. It's just honestly, it's all new shit to me. Just fuck with it for a second. You'll figure it out one way or another. I don't know if it screws in there or what goes on.
But see, it's this that's falling.
Yeah, so try and bend it more than you need it and see if it'll fall to the point where, shit, man, I don't care if you go way above it and then come down or something,
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's too high, so I can do it like this. Yeah, that's cool. All right, let me pee, and then
Yeah.
I mean, I can go over. I want to go over A-bait.
What's that?
Always bring alcohol to events.
There you go.
Yeah, I just want to go over a few things. I can talk about the clubs, like how many people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, did you know this shower curtain's not down?
Yeah, I got to get a new rod.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if maybe the dog did it or something. If you wanted me to put it back up for you.
No.
I had about a fucking half a gallon of cranberry juice this morning. I don't think that was a good idea.
What are you on your period?
Yeah. Just trying to flush out the kidneys,
Right. Now you seen The Departed, I'm sure.
I mean, these clubs, man, I mean, fuck, they're in. I guess I could. Let's see, we covered that, basically. Basically covered that. Let's see. I mean, I can skip the clubs if you want.
No, we did talk about the clubs quite a bit. So
Okay.
I mean, whatever you think, if there's something, like I said, if you have if there's anything that went on that somebody saved somebody's life or something like that, or hell, I would venture to guess that sort of thing could be someone that was severely depressed, came out of it because of the social club. I mean, it's great to have friends, man.
Right. Let's see, we basically covered that. You like my chicken scratch?
No, I didn't see it. Oh, you could get all right handwriting.
Yeah, I know, but I was getting fucking writer's cramp bad, man. I'm like, because dude looking into this shit, and then I'm like,
Now, why don't you just get a notepad on your phone? I'll tell you what, it took me a little while to get used to it, but here, look, like if I go to my quick notepad,
Yeah.
Man, that's all my notes for different shit.
Wow.
I mean, fish tank stuff, jobs, fire pit, podcast ideas, my all my guests that I got, all that.
Yeah.
And some of that shit, you can just straight up talk into it.
Really?
Yeah, just hit the microphone and be pop, 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 pop. You could be riffing, whatever you want, and just write it all down. You got to proofread it because the voice recognition sometimes sucks. But I want to open this up to the page where I got the questions here.
Yeah, I want to talk about just a little bit about this A-bait. I'll explain that a little bit. And a couple books if people want to know. And then I want to talk about Wheels Through Time. It's a museum in North Carolina.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So
just be, if that's something like cool, someone can go check out. So.
Right.
All right. Let's get back here.
All right.
So you're talking about some stuff that you wrote down that you wanted to get to in the podcast, and I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to talk about A-bait, which is, it stands for a brotherhood aimed towards education. Now, what they do, kind of like a lobbying group, I guess you could say. They fight for motorcycle rights here in Illinois.
So is that the guys that you see, like, putting the signs up for sea bikers and all that kind of? Okay.
Right. Start seeing motorcycles.
Right.
And there's what is there? There's 46 chapters in the state of Illinois.
Oh, okay. Good. Great.
But they just do. They do more than that because how like bills, they lump all kinds of stuff. Nothing ever comes through the House in Illinois and in the chamber.
Okay.
Like as a clean bill, just a
one
item.
One item. No. Right.
Right.
Everyone's trying to sneak something in somewhere.
Right. Which kind of ticks me off. I mean,
it shouldn't be that way. Everything should be a clean bill.
Right.
Be like,
that's the way I feel.
Nowadays, I'm the government stuff, and we've had big conversations about that. We should be voting on our phones. We should be voting on, and I think California's doing some stuff where they're doing having the public vote more of a mob rule sort of thing. So less representative, but they're putting the issues on the ballot.
Right.
More single issues, legalizing pot and stuff like that. And I think that the public ought to vote on that, and they ought to make it that you can either vote from your computer or vote from your phone, and all they got to do for that, people say that'll get hacked or bullshit. They'll do it just like they do Bitcoin, where it is distributed ledger. So it's everywhere. To hack it, you'd have to hack everyone's everything because there's a distributed ledger. The ledger goes everywhere.
Right. So it's like signing a witness slip then, basically.
I don't know. What's a witness?
Witness slip, like when they're gonna throw up a bill. Like I don't want to get off on this subject, but like on gun rights.
Yeah.
Okay. Like banning bump stocks or all this and that.
Wait, are guns people too?
Huh?
Guns are people too?
No, they're scary, evil fucking things. I wouldn't own one if you couldn't pay me to own a gun.
We both own guns, so that's not right.
But anyway,
gun rights. That sounds, a gun owner's rights.
Yes, yeah, because we're not going to get off on that just yet. We'll wait.
Right.
But a witness slip, you can Illinois gun owners rights.com or whatever. Let's just say, I'm just throwing that out there.
Sure.
Okay, hey, here comes this bill. This bill's coming onto the floor. Sign this witness slip and vote.
Okay.
All right. So now the representatives and everybody sees all these witness slips. Like this guy's no. Like it'll automatically tally it all up for him.
Okay. Sure.
So I mean, I could hook you up with that. But I don't know, about maybe 12 years ago. Maybe I'm thinking they were trying to put a bill in to where motorcycles had to pass emissions. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
So that they don't? I didn't know that.
No, we don't.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So now here's what comes in with that bill. Okay. Well, other than motorcycles, they want your lawnmowers, your chainsaws, your weed eaters.
Right.
Everything else was lumped in there. It was so freaking stupid, but the general public didn't know about that. All they saw was, hey, that's a vehicle. Right, and that's a vehicle that has to pass. If that bill would pass, Bill, no pun intended,
Yeah, gotcha.
But you'd have your kids riding that riding lawnmower or trailing that riding lawnmower to the emissions test place today if it wasn't for for A-bait of Illinois showing up in massive
Sure.
quantities.
I mean, the other thing that they don't want is, some of the bikes probably couldn't get past the emissions test, right? There's not a catalytic converter on there to...
Right, but I mean, I think with that small of a motor, you're burning a lot hotter and cleaner anyway.
Sure. Well, so
you know what I mean?
In the boating stuff, like they make dumb rules. So Illinois' got a lot of lakes that you have to have a 9.9 horsepower or smaller motor.
Okay.
Let's say like a 180-acre lake, right? Which is terrific because erosion is the problem. You don't want you going so fast that you're destroying the wake on the shore and everything else. But the environmental factor is zero in that because you can have a 1957 9.9 horsepower motor that oil and shit's fucking leaking all out of the goddamn thing.
Right.
And, that's no good for the fish in the lake. That's no good for anything.
Right.
It keeps you from going 40 miles an hour on the lake, no doubt. But you come out there with a, 250 horse four-stroke that puts nothing in the lake at all. And just tell them that you can't go faster than, you can't create a wake. Would be a better law, but there's so many simple solutions for laws that we just don't do. I don't know if the bike thing, right? The motor size and everything else, you can't be causing that much of an environmental impact to begin with.
Right. Well, I mean, I think there was a study done on this. I didn't look it up, but I should have. But there was a study done that your riding lawnmower puts out more emissions than my motorcycle.
Now, your bike is a. Is there a different, like, so, the outboard motor, there's a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke. The 4-stroke's all encased, you got your oil, change it and everything else.
Right.
The 2-stroke is, you put the oil in there. Right. The street bike, that's 4-stroke, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, but, it's not like, you got some guy pulling up in his 67 Camaro with a blower on it. Boom, 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 bang, bang,
Yeah,
bang,
right.
Harleys aren't that loud. And I mean, I know, people want to bitch about revving it up or whatever.
There's times where they make them loud for a reason. They want to be seen on the road, right?
Right.
But there are times where I'm like, holy cow, that's obnoxious.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not that loud compared to... like the guy with the blower and all that other stuff.
Right.
But that guy's at a drag strip where, he's using it heading down the road.
Right.
There are definitely times where it's like, hey, you came out of nowhere with that huge sound, But
right.
I get the safety part of it. There isn't, you're around it all the time. And you probably love the sound, so you're a little biased, but there's an obnoxious level to some of that too.
Yeah. Like your buddy Phil Borelli, I was riding with him before, and he had these like big 2 1/4-inch pipes on that thing.
Yeah.
And I rode next to him for about a half fucking hour, and I'm like, Phil. He's looking at me. He's like, what? I'm like, dude, you got to ride on the ditch side, dude. Why? I said, I can't. I got a fucking headache.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? We got to the fucking bar, and I said, hey, I need some aspirin and some water. You know what I mean? It was nuts.
Right.
Right. I mean, these guys, they're called fishtail pipes. And they come like this, and then. It splits.
Okay.
And then like this is all open.
Right. So designed to be louder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and I mean they sound good, but they're fucking loud on they're loud on the deceleration.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Sure. It's almost like a semi truck braking.
Yeah. Right. So, but they sound good going down the road. It's just
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you would hope you wouldn't hear it so much on the open highway as you do when they're running through a subdivision where it's like, holy cow, stop and go.
Right.
Like, dude, wow.
Right. I try and keep it, PC when I'm pulling in.
Yeah.
Because I live in a townhome complex, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I mean, that's all cool. But I mean, anymore, it's rare if I'm out on the bike, it's rare on a Saturday night that I'm out past 10 o'clock. Because you know what I mean? It's just...
Yeah, we're almost 50 years old, man.
Right, exactly. Fuck it, I've had my fun all day long.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, that is an all-day thing anyway, too. If you're... Right, it's not a nighttime. It's probably much safer to be out there during the day, too.
I don't know, man. You got that headlight at night. They can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean,
how many bikes... Do you know how many bikes are, licensed in Illinois? How many bikes are out there?
No, I don't.
No, I didn't know if there was, what percentage of the population is riding bikes. Huh. I don't know.
That's something I could look up.
Hunting and fishing guys that come out, and I know the number of hunting licenses and tags and stuff that were picked up, the revenue is substantial. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the licensing cost, is it the same as a car?
No, mine's $42.
Yeah, 101 I think is the
for-
tax for
yeah.
a car now.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else, right? You just buy bike insurance and you're
Yeah.
yeah.
Bike insurance, I mean, now it's relatively cheap. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I mean, relatively. You know what I mean?
Now your bikes, do you
I got 3 of them insured. My dad's I don't have insured.
yeah,
but
you're not driving it.
Right. But the 3 that I have insured, I'm paying $370 every 6 months for
Now,
full coverage.
For
now.
you, are you buying your bikes like from somebody else, or some of the ones you buy them brand new from the?
I bought them all from somebody else. Like my first bike, I bought off of Larry Cluse,
Okay, sure.
the Springer Softail.
Yeah.
So, and then the one I ride most now, I bought off of another friend. And then my shovel head I bought off of another friend.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't need to have anything new. I don't want the payment.
No,
You know
and
what
you
I mean?
trust that, because I mean, I don't know, like I see guys on dirt bikes and stuff, and I would never buy a dirt bike from somebody because, good Lord, all he's doing is beating the shit out of it. Like, it's just constant, and then, like, my one buddy races Porsches, and I went for a ride with him, and I'm like, it's all about how hard can he brake into that turn and then come out of that turn and hit it as hard. Like, he is just beating the shit out of it. But
Right.
for him, he's not in love with the car. The car is a tool to get the time that he wants. You know what I mean? So
Right.
Right, that's the job, to beat the shit out of it.
Right.
And I get motocross, same thing. So
Right.
what you call it? Yeah. What else you got?
But there's what's coming up. Motorcycles can't run on. They're not designed to run on high amounts of ethanol.
Okay.
Okay. So what the state was going to do, they wanted to. Let me get this right here. They wanted to expand tax credits for higher ethanol fuel. Okay, but that would reduce the availability of fuel
For bikes.
for
Sure.
motorcycles.
Yeah.
So Wednesday, March 6th was what they call legislative day. So a whole bunch of people from Illinois ABATE,
Yeah.
all the chapters, went down there and they kind of postponed off of voting on that bill. Like it's not gonna be a law this year.
Yeah. Good.
So,
good.
which is cool. I mean, until they got to get something figured out. And then another thing, which I don't know if it concerns you or not, but they were also going to vote on that self-driving cars
Well,
and make Illinois was going to be the first state for self-driving cars.
So that's a conversation that I'm looking forward to having. I got a buddy that's an over-the-road truck driver,
Okay.
and all that stuff, and that's an automation situation where they're saying that and I don't know if it's necessarily true because some jobs will be created by that. Who's going to repair those machines and stuff, but they're saying 5 million people make their living whether they're driving a truck, limousine, car,
Right.
whatever like that, taxi or Uber, however. But those are all going to be jobs that are gone. So
Yeah,
if you take 5 million jobs out of there, boy, we're in trouble with one thing. That's one situation of automation. Automation it's a hot topic for sure. And I come from the construction, so do you.
Right.
Automation happens small. When I first started roofing, you had 5 guys with the bags and the nails and the hammer, and you were roofing.
Right.
Then you went to the guns. Well, no one noticed, but you only need 3 guys now to do that roofing, and you got the roof done faster with the 3 guys than you used to get it done with the 5 guys
Right.
with the bag and the nails. So now you just lost 2 jobs, and productivity went up, but pay didn't, because you didn't give everyone raises when you went out and bought the guns.
Right.
I spent $1,000 on guns. I didn't spend $1,000 on guns and show the jobs and go, now look, everybody's getting $4 an hour or more because we're doing so much more.
Right.
How about
You
the
gotta-
guns? Because I was going to make more money as the contractor.
What about the compressor? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the guns, the compressor, the hoses,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But that is micro automation because that's doing the job of a hammer. It's
Right.
gone now.
Oh, yeah.
So and then
Fully
if
good.
you go into Amazon, those places are looking at, good Lord, they're saying that some of the Amazon plants can run almost peopleless. The forklifts are automated. Everything's automated. The truck is automated. There's some that are running now that the guy sitting in the passenger seat is the truck driver, and he's just monitoring that the AI is driving
Right.
the truck. So the truck pulls up, it fuels itself, it loads itself, and it goes to the destination and stuff. It gets there and it unloads itself.
And that's not good, man.
That's forklift drivers. That's warehouse workers.
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
So we're gonna have a serious issue in this country. So, but ABATE stopped a bill that was going to make it. That's the Paul Bunyan thing to me, man. You better figure out a way to. You can't beat him, join him. You better figure out a way to get on the side of the guy automated. You better figure out how to work on robots. You better figure out if you got kids. You better figure out how to get those jobs and forget about. Your kid shouldn't be a truck driver. That's for damn sure.
Right.
You know, that job's going away. It's gonna go away. Right now they've got truck drivers that are pulling the, small stuff where they're trying to park their rigs in front of the autofill thing for the the automated truck.
Yeah.
You're not stopping anything, dude. Like that's not gonna get it done.
It's something's going to have to break here. But
Well, yeah, it's gonna be us.
yeah, well,
The middle class is what always breaks. That's how it goes. Because the guy who owns the automation, that guy's a billionaire. You know what I mean? He's not going to lose.
right.
You can send all the ABATE guys you want there. They'll hold it off. They'll put the finger in the dike for the little while, but sooner or later, the money's going to win. That's the way this country's always been.
Right.
So they stopped the bill from letting Illinois be automated.
Right.
But
for this year.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
every year
so,
it's going to be another thing.
Right. But so that's all I got on ABATE. You know what I mean? It's a good organization. Fights. I mean, it's
anything that's got education in it, man.
Right.
I'm all about it. That's
right.
good. Like,
you know what I mean?
That's why we're doing the podcast.
Right. They do motorcycle education. Your training, your driver's course, all that.
How do we
kind
get
of
one of
stuff.
those for guns?
What's that?
How do we get one of those for guns?
We have one. It's called the NRA.
Yeah, no, that's a lobbying group. That's just lobbying for gun
No,
manufacturers.
the Illinois State.
And I mean, I love guns. I like to shoot
Right.
guns. I'm all about it. But I really would like to see more education. I like to talk to. I don't like to talk to a guy that's got a gun that doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Like
Right.
that's my least favorite thing to do because it's a little fucking scary, dude.
Well, don't ask a liberal.
Right.
Come on, I had to get the dig in
Yeah,
there.
right.
You got your Trump dig in.
Right.
All right.
So, but
We're even.
If the NRA, I was a member when I was a kid. It was all about safety. That's where you took your gun safety classes and all that
Right.
kind of stuff. It's all about political crap now. It's not the same.
Right, but I mean, the Illinois State Rifle Association, they've got a lot of good programs. They still do that stuff.
Right. But this here, what you call it? I mean, the bike thing sounds good. It's good that they've got that. The gun thing, that's a whole other issue.
Right.
Like I said, and coming from a standpoint where I hunted and all that stuff, like guns we're from two different gun cultures. My gun culture was all about the right tool for the job to go hunting, and you're more like self-defense and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I grew up hunting too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right,
But just pheasant. But where are you going to hunt pheasant around here anymore?
Oh, no,
I'm not going to sit in a tree stand and wait 8 hours for that deer to come walking.
No.
That's just not me.
Right.
But I mean, I hunt pheasant. My uncle and my dad used to take me down the railroad tracks in New Lenox.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And they were bountiful. We get one apiece, and we were satisfied with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? My Uncle Rich, you'd get along with him because he's a big conservationist. Big. I mean, he's big into that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, now I just, after going through the Marine Corps and everything, I mean, I like shooting guns.
Yeah, I enjoy shooting guns too.
And I hope I never have to use it in a self-defense situation.
Right.
But I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Right,
to be cliche.
Right. That is the cliche, and to
Yeah.
me, that's that's fine. But like you could say that about a million things. I'm not going to carry my microwave around with me because I'd rather have it not need it.
Right.
Okay. Because the chances of you needing it are super slim. So,
Right.
I mean, that's not been a thing in my mind. We've talked about that. Like, that's just not something that I I don't live my life like that. But anyways, the bike thing. So let's stick with that.
All right. So this is the last couple of things I got. I've written a lot of books about the outlaw motorcycle clubs. The bad guys.
Yeah.
And I mean that stuff intrigues me. You know what I mean? So, but I just wanted to share my two favorite books.
Okay.
If anybody was inclined to read these, my absolute favorite. It's called Under and Alone, and it's by a guy named William McQueen. And what he did is the ATF. He was a member of the ATF, and what he did was he infiltrated the Mongols. Okay, now he spent 3 years with these guys. You know, and in the book, I mean, he's just talking about, you know, all the drugs they're doing and this and that and the other thing. You know, 3 years he hung out with these guys and did not do a lick of drugs.
Okay.
Like he, you know, in the book he describes, I don't know what you know, so he turned around and he acted like he snorted the meth, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And he was, you know, like my buddy was too busy doing a rail himself, so he didn't see me just dump it on the floor.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean,
they teach those guys how to like. Fake
oh
it.
yeah. But you know, it's just some of these guys they get into really hairy situations. You know, like I'm an ATF guy posing as this drug runner. Gun runner, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got to get in a fight with these guys, and these guys are shooting our enemy, and you know, and I got to pull my pistol and act like I'm shooting, you know what I mean? Just
right.
But you know, they get into some really hairy situations. But he ended up getting out. He got out just in time, you know, and his cover wasn't blown or nothing.
Okay.
So he got out luckily. And you know, so it's a good read. If you start reading it, I didn't put it down.
Yeah, sure.
I literally didn't put it down. I read it in a week.
Yeah. So I mean, and anyone that's in the biker culture,
or
would really be interested in it. Yeah.
Right. And then the other one, it's called Vagos, Mongols, and Outlaws. And this guy, his name's Charlie Falco. He was a 3-time loser. He was a big meth head out in California.
Okay.
So he was going to get sent away for a long time. DEA gives him the option. You infiltrate the Vagos or you go to prison. He says, hey, man, I'm a drug addict. He said, I ain't ever been on a bike in my life.
Okay.
This guy said, I'm going to teach you how to ride a bike.
Yeah.
This dude's own personal bike.
Okay.
All right. So this Charlie Falco's like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he went and did
He
it.
didn't have to go to jail.
Didn't have to go to prison. But there was one part in that book that particularly sticks out in my mind there is when he first goes to their clubhouse, you know, in Eastern California. He's in there and he's telling them, yeah, I was at such and such prison and blah, blah, blah. And one guy called him out on it. Well, this other guy says, yeah, no, I remember him. He was there.
Right.
Well, it was another undercover agent
that didn't street cred.
that didn't know.
Oh, no.
Had no idea that they put it. The DEA and the ATF both put plants in there, but they didn't have they weren't meshing. Sure. That guy, that other agent just figured, yeah, he's got to be a plant, and he covered for him.
Right.
Otherwise, they were going to kill that motherfucker right then and there.
Sure.
So, I mean, he got out of that whole deal. So they relocate him to Virginia under like the witness protection program. Well, anyway, it's like a year later, guy calls him up. Hey, Charlie, we got another job for you.
Oh, wow. Got to go back in.
So he goes back in. Then he gets out of there. Hey, man, one more time. That's it. So this guy went through 3 clubs. Wow. Infiltrated them, took them down on all this stuff.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and survived.
It's like a Donnie Brasco kind of.
Yeah, but I mean, to me, that just blows my mind. After reading this shit and seeing what them guys are doing, knowing that they could die at any point in time because they find out that you're a rat.
Sure.
You know.
So now that's the 2 books, or you got more than that?
No, that's the 2 books.
So how about movies? Anything like? Because I mean, there's definitely movies that I've watched that I'm like, you know, I love like A River Runs Through It and stuff like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. I mean, I know probably Fonzie's your favorite TV character.
Hey, no,
that's not a biker.
No, I know. He had a Honda anyway, I think.
Is that right?
Yeah. But movies, I don't know. Like they started doing a TV series about this Charlie Falco guy, and the second season, they made it past the first episode. Second season, they made it past the first episode, and then never saw it again. So I don't know what happened.
Oh,
but you know, like everybody's, Sons of Anarchy and all that shit. That shit's
I didn't even think
to
about
me,
that.
I didn't watch that after the second season because
That's
Hollywood.
everybody that's in something, man. I tell
Yeah.
you what, I see a movie with a guy in a wheelchair, and I'm like picking it apart. Like it's like
Right.
that's not right. That's not right. So I mean, the biker thing's got to be silly.
I'd rather watch the fucking Black Widows from Every Which Way But Loose. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
I mean, no, but Sons of Anarchy, it was all fine and dandy, but after the second season, Hollywood just got too fucked up with it.
Yeah, and then some of that stuff, like it does more damage than good because
Right.
it's supposed to be, titillizing to people to watch.
Right.
But the lifestyle's not that, and then you get a bad rap.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I
So,
get it.
but all right. Then the last thing I really wanted to get into, there's in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, there's a motorcycle museum called Wheels Through Time.
Okay.
Dale Wexler, he owns it, and he used to own a Harley dealership in Mount Vernon, Illinois.
Right.
All right. Then when Harley started making it in the early 2000s, I think it was, to where all the Harley dealers had to be right by a highway, easy access and whatever.
Sure.
He just got kind of fed up with it. Said, fuck it, I'm retiring. He sold his business, took all his motorcycles that he's collected over the years and put it in this museum.
Nice.
He's got over 250 motorcycles. He's got motorcycle track vehicles from World War II. He's got
So cool stuff to hang out.
just awesome hill climbing bikes, everything. And the beauty of that is every single thing in there runs.
Oh, wow.
You walk through there, and if you're standing by something, he's got 3 mechanics on duty. Him and one of his sons, Matt, run it.
Yeah.
And if you're standing by something long enough, one of them two will come up to you. What's up? Well, I just wondered, hey, is that run? They'll get right on that thing and kick start it, fire
Nice.
it up.
Nice,
I mean,
nice.
it's just beautiful. It's
Right.
beautiful, and you can find him on Dale's Wheels Through Time on Facebook. He does every year. He raffles off a bike.
Okay.
And this year he's raffling off, I think it's a 1936 motorcycle that he had all redone himself over the past year.
Nice.
So I mean, I
Some
don't
of
know
those
how
old
many
bikes, man. I love.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Like I like seeing but I look at an old tractor too and stuff like that. Like it's just neat to see where the mechanics, the engineering went from then to now and everything else. I mean, with the springs underneath the seat and all the other,
Right,
it's just
right.
neat stuff. Sure.
Yeah, oh yeah. But so that's about it. It's
Hey, man,
I don't know how many friends you know that ride motorcycles or not.
I got a bunch, and I mean, I've got some questions here off social media, and
Okay.
I'll ask them of you and see what we come up with.
All right.
What you call it? Let's see here. We got Jenny asks, why do bikers rev the engines and have to be so loud when riding in neighborhoods with sleeping children at 1 a.m. on a school night? Nonetheless. So I mean, what's the deal? What are they doing? And I mean, it's not often I see it, but I've definitely seen it.
Oh yeah, I've seen it too. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the guy's coming home from work. I don't know his work schedule. I can't.
At 1 a.m., he's probably had some.
Sodas
in him and stuff like that.
We were on a job that a guy he would leave. He would work third shift. Every morning we'd be getting there at 7 o'clock and we'd start working. He'd come rolling in at 8.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe the guy's just doesn't have any couth or respect or something. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I'm not guilty. Right. I'm not saying that I'm not guilty, but I don't know. Maybe he's got a buzz going or something. I don't know.
Sure.
It's easier to shift when the RPMs are up. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and there's also knuckleheads with and everything. What I mean, there's definitely people that.
So Lisa, don't hold it against me.
No, right, that was Jenny.
Oh, Jenny, don't hold it against me.
Right, and then Tim asks, how do you tell the difference between a motorcycle gang member, example given is Hell's Angels, pagans, and someone who simply wants to ride?
Well, first off, it's not a gang.
Right.
It's a club.
Yep.
You know, I'm just gonna stick with that because that's the way I feel. If if you see a Hell's Angel, they're gonna have their patch on. They're
Right.
and
So just pretty much they look the part.
right. They're gonna have a 3-piece patch, which is gonna have their rocker. Let's say Chicago, and then they're gonna have their emblem, which is the death head, which is what it's called. And then they're going to have their bottom rocker, which saying where they're from.
Yeah. So now I see the guys all the times on the bikes. When they pass each other, they do that wave where they're like put the hand down. Now, do you just wave to anybody on a bike? Like if he's riding a Honda.
I wave to everybody on a bike.
Yeah, no,
because it's like I said, it's a sport that I enjoy.
I say hey to every dude I've seen in a wheelchair. What's up, brother?
Hey,
on,
exactly.
man?
Well, because you know where he's at.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I don't. He's got MS or something like that. I don't have any idea what you're going through, but you're rolling around. What's happening, man?
Right.
I can ignore you.
Right.
So
right. But yeah, I wave to everybody. Oh, but somebody who's just riding, they might not have a vest on at all, or if they do, it's not going to have club member patch on it.
Right. That makes sense. Let me ask Jeff's question.
You can ask Jeff so he can hear what I'm going to tell him.
Jeff says, can Andy's feet touch the pavement?
Well, Jeff, if you could keep up with me, maybe you'd be able to find out at a stop sign.
There you go. Anthony writes, I detest seeing motorcycle signs. Makes me want to stop riding motorcycles, like an asshole sign. I've never failed to see a motorcycle and caused an accident. I see morons on bikes sail by all summer long. What say bikers? I think he doesn't like to see the looking for
watch for motorcycles
and stuff like that. Because I mean, you do see. I don't know where exactly where he's coming from, but I've seen bikers that maybe I don't call them bikers or whatever, doing dumb ass shit. I mean, on the highway, 70 miles an hour in a wheelie,
right,
and everything else, and then it's like, you didn't see me. Well, dude. Or, you're on 57 headed to Chicago, and some asshole on a bike's going 140 miles an hour.
And splits the cars or
something? Yeah.
Well, them are idiots, but what's that guy's name?
Anthony.
Hey, well, let me ask you, I understand.
Yeah, he's right. He rides. He's
okay.
He said, I detest start seeing motorcycle signs. It makes me want to stop riding.
So
he's a rider,
Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I don't know. Hey, yeah. Them people are assholes. That's not how I ride. I get out on the open highway. Yeah, I'm doing 85, 90 miles an hour.
Sure. So am I, my Subaru. So,
but I'm doing a minimum of 75.
Right.
But I don't know. I think that, and I'm guilty of almost pulling out in front of a motorcycle too. Right. I was in a hurry, had the music up in the truck. I'm like, fuck, I gotta get there. I gotta fucking go. Look. Go. And if that guy didn't have loud pipes, I never would have heard him.
Yeah, right.
And my heart skipped a beat.
Sure.
I think the biggest danger to us motorcycles is texting and driving, to be honest with you.
Oh, when cars
are texting. Yes.
Right. I believe that, man. That's something that nobody, no one's trying to curtail that stuff. I know it's against the law or whatever like that, but I can not tell you how many stop signs or stop lights I pulled up to, glance over as I always do, who's next to me, and they're, it's a phone pit stop is what. Everybody's off the line so slow now too. It's like, come on, man, that's got to be able to wait. We didn't have that before. And
exactly.
Besides the fact that you're going to kill somebody.
Right.
What you call it, Mike, who's a biker for sure.
Okay.
Is it ride or drive?
Ride.
Right.
Yeah, definitely ride.
Right. Well, you're a big Sammy Hagar fan. I was going to play, I can't drive 55. No, that's not appropriate.
Right.
Okay. Why do bikers, Lisa asks, why do bikers always seem so arrogant? Like being on a motorcycle and wearing leather makes you tougher than everyone else. This probably mostly relates to bikers in clubs or gangs, but it's annoying as all get out and gives all bikers a bad name. It's a tough guy thing. It's not. There's nobody that's wearing pink and like looking like fruitcakes out there. They're all trying to be
right.
You know what I mean? Like that's
No, I understand that. It's I don't know, part of the image, I guess you could say. But I mean, as far as being arrogant, why is the guy not looking over at you, or you know what I'm saying?
you know,
Like
arrogant. That's
like
sort of
I get
a
up
style
to
question. Like, why aren't guys more, like looking to look more like the, the easy rider, like the '60s
Oh.
bike guy, where maybe he's a little bit of black leather in there, but not as much. It doesn't
Right.
look as quite as evil as why the evil persona?
I don't know, man. You're going to have to ask Rob Halford from Judas Priest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was into S&M. So,
Right.
You know what I mean?
He was into boys and the whole thing.
But,
so,
I don't know.
His deal was not. Was he actually? Is he a biker? Is he a dude that's really?
No,
into
he
bikes?
was gay. You know
which-
that. But like,
I don't have any problem with being gay. That,
no, I
whatever
don't.
You want to do?
I don't either. But his whole thing. I saw him do a podcast, and his whole thing was, I was just bringing my sexual life out on the stage, and here everybody embraced this in this big culture. Next thing you know, everybody's wearing leather pants and leather jacket and the vest and blah blah blah.
Right.
And he said,
all the Freddie Mercury's in the world knew what he was doing, but no one else.
And he's like, he said, I come out there with whips and this and that and spikes and a mace, and I just so happen to ride a Harley out on stage, and next thing you know, bam, there it is.
Right.
So you know what I mean?
Right.
I just want to say that I get up to a stoplight or something, I'll sit there, light up a cigarette or something, and I keep my eyes to myself. You know what I mean? I'm not looking over at this guy over here or this person over here. And I'm waiting for my light to change.
Yeah.
And just move on.
Right. So I mean, do you see it like? I don't know. Some guys, man, they do stuff. You definitely guys at the gym who are lifting weights, man. They feel tough, man, when they look at that. And I mean, there's a certain strength that you're getting, stuff like that. But just because you're lifting weights don't make you tough, man. That you got to know what you're doing in a scrap. So do you feel tough when you're riding a bike? Like, does it make you kind of feel like, I'm sure it makes you feel free.
Oh, well, that's the only thing that's going through my mind. You know what I mean?
How free,
like, you know what I mean? Or good song will come on, the radio, and I'll just be like, and I'm not, like we talked earlier, I'm not thinking about nothing else but that song,
escape,
and going down the road and waiting for Dyken to catch up.
That's your call. Yeah, no, I get it. So you can't get into someone else's head why they're, maybe some guys, it's, they're not dressed like that all week. When they put that stuff on, they feel bad.
That could be.
Yeah.
That could be. I mean, not everybody's a construction worker. Maybe there's, a couple lawyers. Like I ride with a guy, he's a computer programmer out there in Frankfurt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And first time he came into the bar where I was at, everybody's like, and me and him are bullshitting. He leaves, somebody goes, "That's a fucking cop." You know what I mean? I'm like, he ain't a cop. Yeah, he is. Don't be doing illegal shit.
Computer programmer, man.
Yeah.
All right. Jackie asks, many biker MCs do much good in their communities. However, they are more often than not aloof when put in public settings, staying in packs and not socializing. If I lose my screen here, with anyone outside the MC. What's up with that?
I guess I would have to say that's their own prerogative. I don't, like I said, it's nice to ride in a pack of guys. You get 10, 15 of your buddies out there, and you're all cruising down the highway. It's a lot of fun. You know what I mean?
Right.
You ain't got
But for you, someone doesn't have to be in that club to be your friend. I'm not in that club.
No, exactly.
Right.
No,
Is
right.
Jeff with that club?
No.
Right.
No, but Jeff's fucking one of my best friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but,
right.
Everybody can go off and do whatever they want. It just, and if you go to a party with 10 of your friends and you don't know anybody else, are you just going to go out and...
Yeah, some people, different strokes, different folks.
Right. You know what I mean? Or,
but
hey,
do you see that?
And all my buddies are coming down to Bill Geithner's house for a cookout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And 10 of us come down here. Them guys aren't going to, stray off. You know what I mean? I'm going to introduce you to them or whatever.
Sure.
But all your friends over here.
If I got nothing in common with them, I'm not going to talk to them for too long.
Well,
You know
exactly.
what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So there's your social. What's the word I'm looking
clicks
for?
and stuff like that.
You know.
But I mean, do you see it? I mean, you probably do see it club to club, though, right? Like if you were, you're out riding for the day, and then you figure you'll stop off at the grocery store, and there's 3 guys from another club in there. You're not talking to them, or are you?
Well, if I know them,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. If I don't, then no. I mean, that would just.
But I mean, when you're walking down the aisle,
I'm not gonna make.
you don't have to do a little wave or anything when you're just walking down the aisle without the bike.
They get the obligatory nod. You know what I mean. But I mean, I'm not gonna walk up to the produce lady and have a 3-hour conversation with her either.
No, right.
You know what I
right,
mean?
Yeah, no, right. I don't know. Like I'm not around it that much. I spent more time, in the bar and stuff like that when I was teenager, and I mean,
Right.
I had a fake ID when I was 16.
Oh, yeah.
And early 20s, but by the mid 20s, man, I'm like, this is not for me anymore.
Right.
You
You burned out.
Yeah, but I was always a guy that if I always said stuff like, I'm not looking for a fight, but boy, I wasn't really looking for a fight. But anytime I saw someone that maybe looked a little squirrely, I was looking at him like, hey, man.
You looking at me?
Yeah, no. Just ask me if I am. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to get your attention a little bit. Like, I'm not looking for a fight, but you look like the kind of guy that might ask me, "You looking at me?"
Yeah.
I'll be like, "Yeah, sister, I am." So then we got trouble. But
Right.
but anyways, so yeah. So I mean, for me, that I was, I don't think that the biker culture could have been a thing that no, I was just too high strung.
I mean, some people like just look to start shit with somebody riding a bike.
Okay,
I mean,
and I don't get that either.
There's idiots out there,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right. No. There's some people like definitely in the, outdoorsy fishing, hunting stuff. There's probably some crossover as far as the guy that rides a bike, and I think the bike thing has got way too much to do to have 2 hobbies like that. You know what I mean? As far as getting on the water, but I've had lots of people that fishing wise, we're sitting in the bar after a day in the lake, and they're like, "Yeah, guys on bikes, man, I don't get that crap." And I'm like, I tell them straight up, I tell them what I told you, I love it. Guess what? Not in a boat next to me. I'm good.
Right.
Not fighting for a fishing spot over this guy. So.
Right. Now, see, I look at it that, I don't have to tow anything to go anywhere.
Right.
And put it in the water.
Oh, yeah.
And then
right. No,
tow it home. I'm on my boat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right. No, you're immediate,
so to speak.
You can go.
Right.
The minute you leave your driveway, you're doing your hobby. For me,
right.
Honestly, my favorite lake is, from here, since I moved, it's probably 3 hours and 40 minutes from here is where I got to drive to hit my favorite spot in Illinois. So, I got another lake that's Southern Illinois, so that's a good 4.5 hour ride that I got to take. So, I mean, it is every single time, and you can play with your hobby for 3 or 4 hours at a time. Go out to the whatever the local place that you're hanging out is.
Right.
For me, like there would seriously be, during the summer contracting, I'd have 3 times that it rained hard enough that I knew it was going to rain, and I mean most of my fishing was done in rain gear because that's when I could break away.
Yeah.
So
right.
At 3:30 in the morning, I'm hitching the thing. So at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30, I'm hitting the lake, and I can fish all day long. So it's definitely tougher. It was what I grew up with.
Right,
what I mean? It was
exactly.
same
I mean,
same
different
for you.
strokes.
Different strokes, different folks, and that's good. We all can't be in the same place at the same time.
Right.
Now, someone wants to talk about the recreational boater. Oh, I hate those guys. Good Lord, you're on the damn lake with me. You're doing the same thing you guys are doing, just driving around. Holy cow, you just
towing
wasting
somebody
gas.
skiing and all
wasting gas. Oh my God. I mean, we towed the kids with the tubing and stuff like that.
Right.
So yeah, no, I mean, do what you want to do, man. That makes you happy, then do it.
Oh, I'm all about everybody be happy.
Yeah.
As long as whatever you do doesn't affect me, I'm all good with it.
Right. Like you don't want the guy in the wrong bathroom or something scares you.
It doesn't scare me.
Just playing with you.
I know.
The political stuff.
I know.
How about guys? The biker situation. I know you're a concealed carry guy.
Yes.
Are most bikers? What percentage would you say are carrying? And do you let a guy know you got a gun?
It's against the state law to let somebody know that you have a gun.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, like if I'm concealed carry and let's say If you ask me right now, Andy, you got your gun on you?
Yeah.
If I told you yeah, then that's against the law.
Yeah, and so someone straight up asks you if you're armed.
Other than a
told
police
them.
officer.
Right,
And
but I mean,
a police
you can't-
officer
if you're
won't ask
concealed
you.
carry, you can't go into a bar with the gun.
It depends. If 51% of their profit is made off of food and the owner doesn't have that little sticker on there.
So all they do is put a sign up, and then it's over. You can't bring it in.
Right.
And then it's on you, though.
Yeah, correct.
So what happens if you bring it in and you know,
and I get caught?
Right.
I think the first time it's a $150 fine. Your second violation is $500 fine. The third violation is $1,000 fine. And
But they never take your permit away.
No, they do.
Oh, they do?
The third
Okay.
3 strikes, you're out.
Okay, all right. So biker wise, but how many guys do you think? I mean, even though it's against the law, speeding's against the law.
Right.
Right. So I mean, you're still doing it. Guys know you're carrying. I mean, I know
Right.
you know, we have talked about it.
Right.
There's times I didn't know, and then I think with you, I just assume you are.
That's fine.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Probably the right way to go, right? Just
Right.
assume
Oh,
you're
yeah,
carrying.
pretty much.
So I mean, it's got to be if you're hanging out. That's where I get the issue is the drinking and the I don't know, hanging out drinking all night long and carrying a gun, and then put in the situation with a crew. Maybe if I'm a bar owner, I'm okay with not having you in there and because you took the club thing and then the bar thing and the beer, and now you just put guns in there too.
Right.
Shit get out of hand real damn fast.
Oh, yeah. No, I understand that. But, I mean, any bar any bar that's just 100%, you're not allowed to have you're not supposed to have the gun in there.
Just a general. That's a law. No, you can't do it.
That's the law. But now when you get to that 51%,
How do you know that before you go in the bar?
Well, the basic bars you go to. You know what I mean?
No, but I mean, like if the Midtown pub, I've never seen anything on. Like I don't know what their profit ratio is.
If there's no sign on the door
that says no concealed carry.
Right, and that sign and that little sticker can only be that big.
Now, if
you know what I mean? If it's this big,
yeah,
it's like the one at the Louis Mall.
Yeah,
they got this big, or they used to. They had this big, huge cardboard monstrosity up there.
Okay.
So people could see it from I-55. Well, that's against. That doesn't mean nothing.
No, really.
That's against the state law. The state law, that sticker is only supposed to be like 4x7 or something.
Okay.
Or whatever it is. I don't really know.
Right.
But you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, not because the guy who instructed me in concealed carry, he was in the mall and had his thing on him, and somebody had said something to him. And they, he's like, I ain't taking my gun off. That sign is illegal. I instruct this class. And they got the Joliet cops involved.
Sure.
And the cops are like, well, he's right.
Yeah, so right. That's the law. That's the law.
Yeah.
What you call it? I just, I don't know. Like for me, that was always a thing where like we fought a lot and everything else, and boy, a gun just changes that whole
it does.
thing. I mean, you just can't. You just brought death into the situation or a really bad maiming.
Right.
So I would say don't mess with the bikers anyway, because there's probably a good amount of them that are carrying. Right.
I would venture
part
to
of the
say
culture.
So. Yeah, but a lot of people, believe it or not, I think there was 250,000 FOID applications last year. Mm-hmm. Now when I was reading on this, they didn't have the stats yet on the concealed carry permits.
Yeah, that's got to be online somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was reading this article about the whole FOID card because with all this gun stuff, and they're trying to make. Well, we can talk about this on a whole nother podcast.
No, for sure.
Want.
I just wondered what the crossover was. It seems like culture-wise, that would be in the same wheelhouse, right? And especially if you're a guy going into a lion's den situation where you got a lot of
right
stuff going on.
See, now you know what I mean. The common misperception here would be, if you. Let's say I was a member of the Outlaws. Let's say, okay? Now, if you go in there and you're being a fucking jackoff, your brothers are going to put you in check. Now, if you pull out a gun, now you're getting your ass beat and you're getting your patch taken away from you.
Sure.
And you got to start the whole probationary period all over again.
Yeah, there's no like tombstone where we was legal. He pulled on us first or anything like that. There's no counsel that sits down and says, "Well, what happened? Why'd you pull your gun out?"
Oh, fuck
he
no.
had a knife and
No,
you know,
like Tom Walsh says, it's cowboy logic. Hey man, you fucked up. You know the rules. There's rule when you go into anybody's clubhouse. There's rules.
I don't know if we have time for you to explain Tom Walsh to me.
I'm still trying to figure them out myself.
I'm just saying.
No.
I've honestly looked at the cowboy logic thing, and I still don't.
I don't.
No.
I just always thought it was a saying that he said. I never even really thought.
I
it was,
like the guy. I do.
You know,
I really
mean,
do. But what you call it? There's things he says that I'm like, wait a minute. I'm trying to think like a cowboy.
Right.
Got my spurs on. Nope, still don't got it.
Right.
But you fucked up. You're out. You're gone.
Yeah, you're fucking.
I mean,
done.
there's no. You're a guy that's 150 pound guy, and there's a guy in there that's Tank Williams from the UFC who has run around at 325 pounds and knocks everyone out with one punch. You have an altercation with that guy. Well, you're either pulling your gun out or you're getting knocked out.
Well, if I'm a member of the club, inside the clubs, you're not supposed to. There's not supposed to be any animosity in there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Which between 30, 40 guys, there's going to be somebody who's like, this guy's fucking.
Do they ever
got
settle
something.
that? Does someone say, all right, let's settle it?
I don't. Back in the day, I'm sure. But
back in the day in private schools and I think even public schools, they put the boxing gloves on the two of you and put you in a ring and said, all right, settle it out.
Yeah. But
Nothing like that goes on now, though,
that
right?
I really couldn't say for sure. I have not seen it with my own two eyes. So,
Right. Sure.
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Right.
But you don't hit on somebody else's old lady. You don't do this. You don't do that.
Jeez, that's got to be the thing that happens, though. I mean, not hit on her, but hitting on someone that can be pretty damn subtle. And then also, there's got to be some cheating going. Like, there's got to be some people that are, she'd rather be with him or something like that. Like, guys lose girls all the time.
Somebody's got to leave the fucking club.
That's how it rolls.
That's
huh?
how it rolls.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, got to keep the peace.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, let's say we're all in the same club. You know what I mean? Andy, you fucking jack off. You were drunk last night, you motherfucker, blah, blah, blah. And you fucking come at me and go to take a swing at me because I told you to go fuck yourself.
Sure.
You don't do that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
That's where the whole hierarchy comes up. You got your president, your VP, your sergeant at arms, your treasurer, road captain, and everything filters down. You know what I mean?
So there's something.
You gripe up.
Road captain and all that. When you guys are all, you got 30 guys, the treasurer, the president, the road captain. You're all riding. Is there an order that you get on the road with?
Well, the road captain's the boss.
So he's in front.
Yeah, and the prez will be right next to him.
You got a sentry in the back?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, usually got some. If you're in a gang or if it's a pack of wolves, right? You got the alpha's like hanging out. He watches the back of the herd so that everybody's safe, sort of a thing. Is there?
No, that's not the way.
Assigned to the back.
No,
I didn't know.
No,
the guy in the back, he's screwball. Like he's
the
guy who just got rid of the alligator.
You know what
shirt.
I mean? You'll go like the road captain because he's got to know the route where we're going. You know what I mean? A to B to C to D, whatever. And then the prez, then you'll have the VP and whatever, and then it's all the club members. However they line up, and that's how you go down the road.
Right. Okay. I didn't know if there was some.
And I mean, you run red lights and shit like that. You'll have your road guards come out and block traffic, at an intersection. A lot of times nowadays, I mean, if you're doing, like last year, this girl, she had a real bad bout of cancer and she died. I mean, there had to be, I ain't shitting, there had to be 700-800 motorcycles on this fucking thing.
For the funeral.
This was her memorial ride.
Right. Okay. So now I think for the first time I thought it was a funeral, but they had guy on a bike with a casket in the trailer, and it was glass.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You could see the casket in there. I was like, 47 years old, never seen that before.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, look at that. And they had the whole thing, and then they had something to do with, they had a bunch of bike trailers and stuff that they were hauling everything I think that had to do with this person's life.
Yeah.
And must have been somebody who was somebody, because there was a couple hundred bikes for sure that were going down there. But I was pretty impressed with, man, that's a lifestyle. That's like the what's the Garden of the Galaxies where they gave the guy the funeral send off with the fireworks and the whole all
Right.
the Ravengers got together.
Right.
That's pretty all right. Like if to me the whole thing sounds like the club it's really social. I mean, but the Hell's Angels, the all those kind of the pagans, all that kind of stuff. Are there ever wars? Like you got the mafia guys that go to the mattresses.
Right.
Is there ever a time where it's like we're all armed to the teeth? Because I mean, there's a criminal element in there, and some of those clubs are making money from that criminal element.
Right.
Is there ever like a situation where it's like, if we see you, we're shooting you?
Oh yeah. I mean, now the
It's
last
a very small percentage, and
right, but the last big deal, like I looked something up and I asked one of my buddies. The last big deal was when, like in the mid '80s, I think it was, or the early '80s, when the Hell's Angels clubhouse got blown up in Indiana.
Okay.
That was between the
And then another biker,
the Hell's Angels and the Outlaws.
right, went in there and blew it up.
Yeah.
Anybody die?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't.
That's not something to be on my radar.
It was something I looked up a couple years ago because I think somebody was talking about it in the bar and I overheard it, and then I asked one of my buddies in the know.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, the whole Hell's Angels and Outlaws thing, the reason why they don't get along is over a piece of ass.
Yeah.
That's how that all started.
Wow. Must have been special.
One guy is at another guy's clubhouse and they're partying and having a good old time, blah, blah, blah. Goes home with this chick, comes to find out that that's the president's fucking old lady.
Yeah, right.
Well, then they kill this guy. Well, then here comes retaliation. They kill this guy, blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And that's
So
basically...
is there like an APB that goes out to all their bikers? Like, hey, if you see these two, like, because that seems like a dangerous situation to get in between.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that shit all started in the 70s, I think.
Right. So it's just gossip, though. You hear it like through the grapevine.
Yeah.
These two are.
Hey, Bill fucked Andy's old lady, so Andy killed Bill. Well, we're out to get Andy, so if you see him, let us know so we can come and fucking,
right.
Yeah. Kind of like the mob shit a little bit, I guess.
Right. Andy killing Bill. That's
Kill Bill Volume 1.
But
of course, nowadays I'm sure shit's gonna spread a lot faster.
Yeah, the internet and everything else.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean, I'm guessing these people have Facebook pages and websites and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, they make money on the dues and everything else, so
Yeah.
getting as many people
Yeah.
in there as possible. Well, man, I learned a ton. I hope that somebody that listens to it learns something. I hope that they get something out of it. And if you're someone that's inclined to live that lifestyle, get after it, man.
Yeah.
Don't waste time.
Well, I hope it was entertaining and informational, I guess.
It was totally informational. I mean, shit, man. There's like I was blown, like I said, away by the motorcycle funeral that I saw.
Yeah.
And then to hear the other things that were in there. The problem with most things is people assume something, and
Right.
they're usually wrong anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's all kinds of things that people assume, and it just the smartest guy in the room doesn't assume anything. He just goes, I'll find out. I'll go, go check out what someone that really knows something. They're
Right,
great.
right.
So I'm supposed to have. And I mean, there's definitely guys that are, motorcycle guys. My buddy Bob, he's from Arbery. He was, there's pictures of him with holding the number 1 up, and he's on his dirt bike, and he's 5 or 6 years old, and he was, a terrific motocross guy and everything like that. And I'm sure he was around tons of bikers, but he's a career military guy. I don't think he was ever a biker. You know what I mean? What you call it? A little vape there.
Yeah.
What you call it? And then, Bob and George Wills, they're flat track racers.
I bet George is he's gonna go down in the AMA Hall of Fame.
I think he's already in there.
Is he already?
Yeah.
I was gonna say if he's not already.
Yeah, he's already in there. He was, had that number 1 plate for the longest time.
Ah.
But I mean, I don't think that makes you a biker.
But he rides.
He is. Yeah, I know. I'm sure he
Right.
is. But I'm sure there's people that flat track race that it's a sport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just what
But,
they do.
George, to watch him race, man. I mean, he would get out. I started watching him 10, 15 years ago. I think, and just to watch. I mean, he'd get out ahead of somebody, and it was just like, you might as well just give up.
Yeah, right.
Because I mean,
Gone.
he just did not. I mean, he was relentless.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Sure. Yeah, and hopefully that talk will come up pretty soon and be interesting to hear that. 'Cause that's a whole other thing. I've done some stuff around that in their barns and stuff with the machines.
Right.
But like I don't know the first thing about that either. So all this stuff, not knowing the first thing about it is fun to hear about it and stuff like that.
Right.
I honestly thought that the biker thing was it seemed a little more malicious at times than like it. And the come away that I got from it now is that it's more like, man, just a social thing. Like, this is who we get together with our friends, and I can count on you to be there if I need you and stuff like that. And I mean, I know you're a guy that you probably can't hardly go anywhere without seeing somebody you know.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, and I mean, it's a good feeling. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because some days, hey, all my buddies are frickin' working. Well, screw it. I'm just going to get out and go for a ride.
Yeah.
And I'll run into somebody. I'll be passing by him at the gas station, and I'll be like, hey, what's up? Not knowing what he's doing. 10 minutes later, he caught up to me. Hey, where are you going?
Yeah,
hey,
right.
All right, let's stop here.
Sure.
See Jenny behind the bar. All right, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's cool.
Good.
It's cool.
Good. I like it, man.
I like it too.
Let's wrap it up.
All right.
What you call it? Anybody's got any other questions or something like that? Feel free to contact me, social media, and I'll pass them on to Andy. Or Andy's tagged on stuff all the time. Ask him directly. He'll help you out.
All right. Have a good day.
Thanks, man.